First and foremost, I do want to apologize for the lateness for this video once again, and secondly, that we're using this format and not the regular format we usually do. This is mainly due to the fact that my camera's actually dead and I didn't want to wait for the battery to charge to give you the rewrite video, so do forgive me there. But this episode was not only comedy gold for around the first half of it, it revealed so much information that I'm just so excited to dive into and discuss with everyone here. But firstly, can we just agree that Kagure is seriously the most entertaining female in this anime right now? I mean, the amount of dialogue that was just laugh out loud worthy was amazing. I mean, she even tells Kotaro this episode that the house isn't good enough for her well-being, and she forces him to go to the city so she can find herself, because she did lose her memory. That's why she's so kind of friendly with Kotaro now instead of the weird kind of shyness and also kind of stalkerish persona she does have, or at least she did have from the previous episodes, because when that meteor came down and kind of disintegrated into a small rock, it hit her in the head and did cause for her to have amnesia, so she's a completely different person now. And there's a line in the episode around, I think it's around the halfway mark, where she mentions to Kotaro that she thinks she is the one who's gonna save the world, but really at the end of the day, she's really the one who can end the world. I mean, she's the key that can bring the destruction to the world, so I just found that line to be really funny. But around the beginning of the episode there, everyone from Gaia, Guardian, as well as Kotori sends someone to stalk Kotaro, as well as Kagure, to figure out what he's doing and what everyone's keeping an eye on. And I just love the interactions and banter that was going on, all of Kagure's little cute moments with the coffee and how she realizes that she needs caffeine to live and she has an addiction to it, and she's getting all these sexual innuendos going in public where it looks like she's ready to, you know, give him a blowjob, and everyone's around her is just like, why is she moaning for this guy to give it to her? And I thought that was hilarious. I mean, some people might not dig that humor, but I found it to be really funny. I just loved all their interactions, and I like this new persona she has. I really dig it. I know it's completely different than what we were originally seeing, but just the voice actor nails it so perfectly. I love it so much. Also, that bath scene where she comes in and Kotaro's taking a bath and she just changes into nothing and says, well, I'm pretty sure, you know, humans don't want to have clothes on in the bath. I was just like, this girl has no chill. It was hilarious. I seriously loved it so much. What was really cool though was when Kagure kind of loses focus and her eyes almost like roll back and she just has glossy eyes when one of the Gaia members is trying to attack Kotaro, and she just disintegrates these beasts like it's nothing, and that was amazing. And then Kotaro running off using his new rewrited you know, agility there, like that was really cool because he tries to hide it from everyone, but you just see him pick up Kagure and just run off. I don't know, like this episode was seriously, I think, the funniest episode of Rewrite so far. It was really freaking good, but let's get into the meat. Let's get into the substance of all the reveals this episode. And honestly, I wasn't too far off with Kotori. So for one, I did mention that I figured that she had some sort of barrier that was protecting her, which I had a couple of people say, oh yeah, that's actually true, but we get to see it in action. She does cover up the forest with the barrier, and a couple episodes back, when Kagure and our MC do meet up in that forest there when they're going looking for the girl who went missing, I forget her name, she actually broke the barrier by accident, and that's pretty fascinating. And all that weirdness with the water, that was all due to actually the core of the earth, which actually spawned the key, which spawned Kagure. So Kotori is actually a druid. Now, I didn't see this coming. I thought she was just a monster user, someone who could create monsters, but she's 100% a druid that when she was a kid, she climbed up the tree and found, I forget what they called it, that little like flower at the top of the tree, and it granted her wishes, but at a price that she had to pretty much protect the key. And that's interesting because, you know, for a long time there I was thinking that, you know, RMC did die and she brought him back, and then everyone got pissy with that and said stop doing that, and pretty much I was saying, well, if he didn't die, she had to have saved him, because he did lose an arm back in the day. At least it looked like it based on the animation and everything. So I'm curious if she was able to save his life with her druid powers. So in a way, does that make our MC her like familiar, or like her monster that she created? Because he does have monster-like abilities. I mean, we saw his claws. I mean, he has a lot of attributes that kind of represent these creatures in a lot of ways. So possibly is he one of her creations? Like, that's what I'm thinking, because this is something I've been, you know, on with, and I wasn't backing down, that in some way she saved him. And after all this reveals with her being a druid user, I think so. Like, I'm not sure if he is 100% similar to the Beast, but I think she did use her abilities to either heal him or sort of protect him. But I mean, she doesn't act like he is one of her own, like, creations, but maybe that's just so he can try to live a normal life. But that's something that I'm going with for now. And please, I mean, you can confirm things. I'm fine with people confirming. It's like, yeah, Brandon, you hit the nail on the head with this. But don't tell me if I'm wrong with things. I don't need people spoiling. There's a few people last week who were really bad with that. Don't do that. You're an asshole if you do. Generally, everyone who comes to my rewrite videos are really good with spoilers, but there was a handful last week who were really bad. So if you don't want your comments hidden on my channel, don't be an asshole and spoil tag everything. I mean, it's not so bad when it happens to me, but there's plenty of anime-onlys who do watch my videos, and I don't want them to get spoiled. Now, I know I can't control the internet, but I can control my channel. That's one thing I want to do. So if you are gonna, you know, say Brandon is totally wrong here, put a spoiler tag to just give everyone a heads up. It's simple to do. Please do that. You know, it's not your duty as a visual novel player is to completely crush my theories. By all means, you can point me into different directions. You can confirm what I'm predicting. But if you're going to deny shit, please, please, please spoiler tag it. I don't want to see a repeat of last week. But we do get to learn that Kagure, the key, is actually the avatar of Earth. So she is the... I mean, if she's the avatar of Earth, if she is literally what represents Earth, does that mean that if she dies, would the world end? That's what that's what I'm wondering, because if she literally represents the Earth, if she dies, or if she does things that are bad, if she uses her powers, possibly, could that be how it could destroy Earth, possibly? I mean, it's weird, you know. There's so many ways they can go with this whole, you know, avatar of Earth, but I'm wondering if that's how the world could end if she did get killed, or, you know, if she went on a rampage. You know, who knows what's going on there. And the only thing I know about the Moon and Terra route, or whatever it's called, is that it's there. I know nothing past that, but there are so many shots where it's framed with Kagure looking up at the moon or the stars, and I'm curious what that means. Like, possibly, I'm trying to think, because if we can have the avatar of Earth, is it possible we could have avatars of other planets, other stars, things like that? Like, that's a possibility after seeing this reveal. Like, it has my mind spinning, and I really don't know where they could go with it, but it is possible that maybe, you know, everything with her looking up at the stars so much, because I feel like that has to have some sort of significance. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it's kind of like a red herring, but it feels like she is looking up there for a reason. Like, maybe she can sense, you know, other avatars of different planets, things like that. I'm not sure. Maybe that could be what represents that Moon and Terra arc that I've been hearing about. I completely avoid the wiki or anything like that, because I know if I went there, everything would be spoiled, and I like to try to just theorize my own possibilities and see if it gets proven wrong or right. But I mean, that's really interesting as well. But I mean, at the very end of the episode, we see Akane watching this dinosaur get created, and I'm wondering if it's like the same ability that Katori has, and you can see people dying like they're giving their life force to bring something back from the dead. And I mean, you know, Gaia versus Guardian are going all in. There is going to be a bloodbath. I'm just so excited. I am so excited to see what happens, and if we get a bad end or a good end, because the first opening looked like our MC was left alone, missing his friends at the destruction of the world. So could this battle between Gaia and Guardian ultimately result in the key being destroyed and possibly destroying Earth with only our MC left alive? I mean, it's a possibility. And if, like, I'm not against a bad ending, as long as it's good, as long as it's detailed and fits the series. So, I mean, if they're going with that, I'd be very interested. But this episode was fucking amazing, easy so to say it. And one thing I do want to mention, I did say last week, and I do apologize, I didn't get around to doing it. I said I was going to do a video similar to what I did for the first opening, for the second opening of Rewrite. And I had plans to do it, I really did. I keep rewatching the opening, but there's way less for me to talk about as an anime only as there was with the first one, because I can see there's hints, I can see there's foreshadowing, but I can't pick it out. It would be, in all honesty, me saying, okay, so I see someone here, it definitely looks ominous, I wonder what this is going to symbolize. I really don't think I could do one of those videos justice for the second opening, and I don't want to make a video and have people sit through it if it's not going to be good. I like to put out quality content, and I don't want to just bore you guys with something that I don't think I can do. So as I come up with theories of what maybe the things in the opening could mean, I'll put them into these reviews. That's how we're going to go for it. So I do apologize people waiting for it. I just can't figure it out. And I mean, maybe some of the things that I've been talking about, you know, the moon and, you know, the whole Avatar of Earth, like maybe that's part of what's in the opening. I don't really know. But I mean, you know, after this episode, I can see some of the stuff that came into fruition there. But yeah, this episode was really damn good. I cannot wait for next week. I'm so excited to see where this goes. And yeah, just what did everyone think? And like I mentioned, please spoiler tag your stuff, okay? I mean, if I get spoiled, I just roll my eyes in all honesty. But I see other people who are just like, what the fuck? So please, try not to be an asshole, and just, as always guys, remember, smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and for the future rewrite reviews, more than likely, they're gonna be up later, or at least a bit later than what you're getting this video of, if I go back to, you know, only doing, you know, my normal format for rewrite. The reason I say that is I now have a shift on Saturday at my job, and I don't end until about 3 p.m. This airs at 12 p.m. Eastern time, so generally, we might be looking at a 5 to 6 p.m. upload schedule for this, unless I do videos like this for Saturday. I mean, I'm going to try to put out, you know, the standard format, so if it is a bit later from now on, do forgive me there, but I'll try to get it up as soon as possible. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.